Hey everyone, real quick before we get into it, don't forget to
like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
Check out the podcast on Podbean. We're on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcast, and Google Play.
And with all that said and done, let's get to it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to episode 115 of the Hella Average Gamescast. Thanks for tuning in. This week, we're sad. One man, because he is somewhere in Massachusetts about to watch a football game, picking foosball over video games. How dare he?
I still tell you, man, it was so funny when you sent me that foosball message. I thought he was literally going to watch two guys in a bar playing foosball.
Just playing extreme foosball.
I was like, man, he is dedicated to the sport.
That's right. But no, Carmen is out. He is going to check out the Panthers and New England preseason game. He's a big Patriots fan, so hopefully he'll enjoy that and not be coming home crying. So me and you got to hold it down this time, Jeremy. You think we can do it?
We'll do all right.
All right. So let's go ahead. Let's get right into it. They know what we're here for. So tell me real quick, have you been playing anything good, anything worth mentioning? What you been up to?
I have actually got several new games this week.
So awesome.
I've been a busy beaver.
What do you think has been the best one you've gotten?
I bought Bloodstained yesterday. You know, the Castlevania.
I figured you would pick that up. Yep.
Yeah, it was finally on sale. So I decided to pick it up. I played a little bit today, and I'm really liking it. It's very Castlevania. It's very, very Symphony of the Night. The music is fantastic. I'm loving it. Gameplay's great. Graphics are good, but nothing next gen. But this was a Kickstarter game, so it's more on par with like a PS3 360 style game. But I'm really enjoying it so far. I only played that for an hour or two, though. I also picked up Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition for PS4. I put probably a good 15 hours in that so far.
Wow.
Yeah, I was really wanting an RPG, and that went on sale. And I like the Tales games. I heard this was one of the best ones, and I decided to check it out. And it's not my favorite one so far, but it's definitely, I agree, it's one of the better ones.
Very cool. Very cool.
It's just basically an HD upgrade of the PS3 of the Xbox 360 version. It was a 360 game.
What's the basic gameplay? Is it like an action game, RPG, something like that?
Well, it's a JRPG, but the actual battles are, you get to control your characters, so it's kind of real time. But you can also like pause, like you can like press the triangle button, pull up menus, and pause the fight and pick spells and items and shit. But it plays more like an actual like hack and slash RPG in the combat. So pretty fun.
Very cool. Very cool.
And last game I picked up, I got the Grandia HD trilogy for Switch. Or not trilogy, HD games. They only have two on there. A little overpriced. It was $40 for two games.
And what are they? You said the Grandia?
Grandia. They're RPGs. The first one was on the PS1, and the second one was on the Dreamcast, Saturn, and PS2. So the first one's like,
for us noobs who've never heard of that, including myself, what's the main, like, give us the 10-second overview.
JRPGs. I've been mostly playing the second one. It's definitely looks like an early PS2 game. It's got really cool combat where it is turn-based, but everything has like a grid at the bottom, or like like a bar at the bottom, and your characters slowly move through it. And when it gets to a certain point, you can choose their actions, and then they have to go through the action bar, and when it gets to the end, they perform it. And if like an enemy is going through the action bar and you hit them while they're going through the action bar, you can send them back to the beginning of the line, so you can interrupt their turns and whatnot. So
that seems like a pretty cool mechanic.
Yeah, it's very strategic. Like you can, and also if you do that, you do more damage. Like you get critical hits and shit. If you use more powerful spells and attacks, it takes longer to get through the action bar versus a normal attack and so forth. So there's a lot of strategy involved. So really enjoying that. I've been playing a good bit of that on my Switch as well. But I see myself putting more time into Bloodstained this coming week, since I just got it.
Very cool, very cool. So Bloodstained being the newer of the games, how many bags o' dicks are we looking at for Bloodstained?
I only just started, but it's probably a 7 or 8 right now.
Very nice, very nice. That's what I was expecting it to kind of hover around.
Very good, but it could easily go up, because I do love me some Castlevania. We'll see.
Perfect. Well, it sounds like you've been pretty busy and much busier than myself. I did get some game time in. I've been playing some more Mortal Kombat. Haven't gone online a lot, just a little bit. Haven't really found a character. I'm working on a couple of characters. I started messing around with Aaron Black last night, so that's pretty fun.
That's the cowboy guy, right?
Yeah, that's the cowboy guy, and I really hated him in 10.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, in this one, he feels a little bit better. And I was actually looking up a tier list, and he's fairly high on that tier list.
Really?
Yeah, so kind of surprised there because I don't think he was on 10. But it's cool to mess around with him. And what else? I played some Smash yesterday.
Nice.
Played a little bit of Tetris 99. I got the Switch out and kind of messed around with it and knocked the dust off and browse the games. I want to pick up a new game on the Switch, but I don't know exactly what I want yet.
Well,
so.
I'm getting Dragon Quest 11 when it comes out next month.
That might be one to wait on because, we were talking a while back. I want a new RPG.
Well, that's a great one. I wouldn't
wait
wait on it.
It's a great way to play it on the Switch, too.
I wouldn't wait on it. I mean, I think it's only 50 and not 60. And
that's not terrible.
And it's got more content than the PS4 version. Plus, you can switch between modern graphics and 16-bit on the fly, which I think is pretty cool. So
that is real cool. I actually like that.
Look like an old school SNES RPG. I'm down with that shit.
Nice, very cool. And yeah, that's really all I did. I didn't get a whole lot of gaming in this week, but enough to still qualify as a gaming nerd, if you will.
Just barely. Let that slide.
Just barely. I'm not out of the club yet, okay? But you know what time it is. We got to keep rocking and rolling because there's a lot of juicy news to go over, Jeremy. So without further ado, do you know what time it is?
Is it peanut butter jelly time?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for some news.
All right. Let's kick it off. Let's try to get some of the bad news out of the way. More layoffs coming from GameStop. They laid off over 100 employees, including half of the Game Informer staff, which totals around 7 editors. I think they have the article I read, which was I think on GameSpot, said they had around 19 editors. So you're right under about half of their staff laid off.
Yeah, I looked at the names on the list. I only recognized I think 2 who had been there for a while. I didn't recognize the other ones. It's always sad when this happens, but I think it's just GameStop. It's not Game Informer's fault, because from what I've heard, they're actually fairly popular. But it's just they're owned by GameStop, and GameStop is just tanking.
They are. Their stocks are tanking, man. I mean, everything about them. And they're calling this, what's the word they're using, a rebranding or whatever. I don't know if I see it. Like, this just seems like cutting your assets and trying to salvage all the money you can.
I think, honestly, it's only a matter of time before Game Informer is gone, unless someone buys them up or they get sold to someone and they keep it going. But they're not going to be owned one way or the other. They're not going to be owned by GameStop for much longer.
Well, here's my question: how feasible and how realistic is it to keep an actual physical paper publishing or publish item, a magazine?
Well, they don't even
in today's age.
Well, they still do it in America, but they stopped it in Australia, apparently. But they don't even need to have a magazine because most people just use the website. People go to Kotaku or Polygon or any other gaming website. Because I go to their Game Informer's gaming website. So everything on the website is in the magazine, essentially. Because you can stop doing the magazine, but keep the website running.
Yeah, that's what I do. I do the digital version, but
yeah,
a lot of people still do the actual physical one. So I'm wondering if maybe someone could scoop up Game Informer because I agree. I think it's a good publication, and then maybe they can keep it going.
Honestly, I think
in a digital format, maybe.
Oh yeah, the digital would be fine, but the physical, I think the only reason anyone has it is just because it comes with your Power Up subscription to GameStop or whatever. Because it
does, but like I said, I have it and I got it digital. I opted out of it.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's been so long since I've even had a membership.
Yeah, you can opt out of it now.
Yeah, because I would do the same thing. I don't want the physical. I'd throw it out. But Yeah, I mean, like, the only way they're going to survive is if someone buys them out, is more or less what I'm saying, yeah.
I mean, and Game Informer, it's not their fault. It's GameStop fault, like we said. And, I hate to say it, I just don't see a recovery here. I think, brick and mortar stores in general already have trouble. And
yeah.
A niche store like just pure games and pops and trinkets just doesn't have the power it needs to stay in business.
I agree. Like I said, I'm a physical guy, but we are moving more towards digital, sadly. But I think more or less the reason why they're dying is just their business model sucks.
It does.
They push so much. They try and push so much pre-order shit on their customers and trade-ins and whatnot. They just don't let people just be. But yeah, it's brick and mortar stores are always going to be around, but not, like you said, like niche stores like game stores might not always be around. You'll have your Walmarts and your Targets and clothing stores and shit, but as online retailers come more, like I rarely go out to buy games in a store anymore. I buy them off Amazon. I can get them same day, more or less. I'll literally just, if I'm working like the Tuesday a game comes out, like an early shift, I'll just go to Walmart because it's right next door to where I work and pick it up. But almost every other thing, I just pre-order on Amazon and just get it the same day.
You and millions of other people, Jeremy,
yeah.
So don't worry.
That's
the way to do it now.
I can't tell you last time I've been to GameStop.
I think we talked about it last week. I mean, when I go in, I go to look at their trinkets and their figures and their pops and
I legit,
like that.
I legit think the last time I set foot in a GameStop was when we all went so you could get Mario Kart 8 for Select Start.
Oh yeah. When we did Select Start, I remember that. I think we've got our predictions here. We don't see GameStop being long for this world, so we'll keep an eye out on this. And it's maybe 100 employees doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot. I think it's more like 120. I'm not sure the exact number, but
it's like 124 or something like that. It was pretty significant.
Yeah, it's a lot. So we'll keep an eye and try to, see exactly what's going on here. But it's just sad, I think I even read part of the article. One guy that got laid off was even on vacation when it happened.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that.
Man.
Yeah.
Really? So.
God, it sucks.
Bad look. And what? I saw something cool online. A lot of the other publications and people, prominent editors at other sites were saying, hey, come apply here. We'll try to, we don't have a lot of positions, but come apply. So.
It's very similar to what happened. Very similar to what happened when Telltale went down. A lot of the other game companies were like, yeah, come on, we'll hire you. To all the developers and shit.
It's good to see them watching out for everybody else in the industry. So let's keep rocking and rolling. Kind of a complete different end of the spectrum for gaming. But Apple has announced Apple Arcade. It's $5 a month as of right now. There's not a whole lot of... I couldn't find a whole lot of information on it. But it's essentially like you pay $5. It's kind of like, I guess, a PlayStation Plus or Xbox Games with Gold subscription. They have games available. You get special discounts on games. You can play a certain set of games, I guess, anytime for free that would normally maybe be a charge. There's a lot to it. I'm just not sure everything that's there. But it looks like just a small pay subscription to get you a little bit more stuff in, or a little bit more bang for your buck on mobile gaming.
Yeah, the problem is, though, there's just not much worth playing on mobile gaming. At least in my opinion. A lot of them are like freemium games and shit. Like, I'm trying to think the last time I bought, if I've ever bought a game on my phone.
Oh, man, I can't tell you. I mean, I played, like, some of the big ones that were out for a little while. Like, when I get mobile games, like, Carmen plays Tap Titans all the time.
Yeah, but that's
I tend to get them and then... Yeah, I know. Yeah, it is free too, but like I tend to get them playing for a week or two, then I'm done.
Exactly. Like I'm not seeing much value in this. Like I said, almost all mobile games nowadays are free, more or less, as long as you don't buy any in-game microtransactions.
Right.
So it's kind of a waste, in my opinion.
I kind of want to reserve my judgment for when I see exactly what you get for it. I mean, I think it's a little bit of vague right now. Maybe it is worth it once you see, but I'm as of right now, I'm leaning more in your into the on the field here, thinking that no, I'm probably not getting a lot of bang for your buck here. But we'll keep an eye on that again, and the reason I think that we should kind of look at it is because to my knowledge, this is the first time that one of the big mobile carriers has really thought about subscriptions for their gaming service. So maybe it can spark some future changes, things like that. The game scene's always changing, but we'll see what this does. Sony. I think this is probably the biggest news. And I'm looking over our list here. This is probably the biggest news of the week here. But Sony has acquired Insomniac Games.
Whew, that's a big ass acquisition right there.
It's huge. It's huge. So obviously the huge Sony hits. I've got hello. I must be popular right now. Sorry for the dings, ladies and gentlemen. I'll go ahead and mute that. So Spider-Man came out recently. A huge hit on the PlayStation, right?
Oh yeah.
So we also have what else? What was the Insomniac's game right
Ratchet
before
and
that?
Clank, Infamous,
Ratchet and
Resistance.
Clank. Yeah, I guess that was the newest. Yeah. So they've long history of super good games for PlayStation. I even saw like a parody account that was like 49% of Insomniac employees just now figuring out they were not owned by Sony and now are, or something like that. I was like, that's hilarious.
Like I said, I thought for sure that they had already bought them a while back, so this kind of surprised me. Like I thought they already owned them, but then I thought back and it's like, yeah, well, they did make Sunset Overdrive for the Xbox One, so they couldn't have owned them. But that was also the only game they've made that wasn't for Sony, as far as I can remember.
Yeah, they've been strictly in Sony's camp for a long time. And rightfully so. I mean, they've treated them good. I think some of the articles I've seen, I think I read it on Kotaku, this particular one. I can't remember for sure, but apparently Sony's been trying to acquire them for a while now. And they made offers, and for a long time Insomniac was like, no, we want to stay independent, yada yada yada. And now finally, I guess either Sony made them an offer they can't refuse, or they realized, hey, we're making our money with Sony, let's go ahead and be part of them, or whatever it may be. So I'm excited to see what this has for the future.
Oh yeah, like we were talking earlier, they could have done this because they're ramping up like PlayStation 5 games. Possibly maybe a Ratchet and Clank or Resistance for a launch title, which would be pretty sweet.
Well, if you remember a while back, I was like, man, it'd be cool to see Resistance again. And this just goes to show it might happen. So I would be super happy for a new Resistance. It would obviously be a reboot.
It would have to be, because, like, the last game that came out, I think it was on the Vita, and it was just kind of okay. Last official title was on the PS3. And that was like midway through the PS3's life cycle. But yeah, I'd love to see some more. Like they can still do like the aliens and the alternate like war and all that stuff, but maybe don't do World War II. Maybe do World War I or something. Maybe do what if it was like the Civil War? Maybe fighting with muskets or some shit.
I would think that would be cool. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I like stuff like that, but people are moving so into like the modern day stuff now. Like I couldn't see them not going modern.
The whole no, I don't want them going modern. That's the thing, because then there's no point. The whole point was that
I guess so, because they couldn't fight them off. Yeah.
Well, no, the whole point was that it's super advanced aliens during like our past. Like World War II, World War I.
Yeah.
If we're doing super advanced aliens in modern times, it's just generic as shit.
Right, and that's what I'm worried about. Like, I don't think they should do that, but I worry that might be the way that they would do it, because it sells, unfortunately.
Plus, how cool would it be to like ride through a battlefield on a horse and like chop off an alien's head with a cavalry sword?
It'd be absolutely badass. So no, I want to see. I would love to see a new Resistance. I feel like that's coming. I don't know if it's a pipe dream or me just being a fan, but I feel like it's going to happen. Obviously, we're going to have more Spider-Man content coming out, probably several games, spin-offs there, and don't forget that Sony also owns all of the Spider-Man IP, so not just Spider-Man, Venom's, Carnage, all the supporting characters, so we could see a lot from that. And trust me, I know this is a video game show, but it's not lost on Jeremy or I that it just so happens they buy Insomniac and then take back the rights to Spider-Man. This is all one big plan.
I was gonna bring that shit up, man. They're doing something Spiderific going on.
Yes, they have a plan thought out, and it's possible that it could be a badass. So good on Sony, because another thing that you got to think of is Microsoft has been buying studios left and right. So, this acquisition by Sony shows that, hey, we're not going to, we're not scared. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. And if you look at the studios under Sony's wing, I would personally, and this is my opinion, I feel like they have a more, what's the word I'm looking for here? Probably a better lineup of studios than Microsoft does. They have a better track record, better games, better assets, thing like that.
I agree, because they have Naughty Dog and Insomniac and Guerrilla, and those are all companies that have series that I like. Like Naughty Dog has Last of Us, they have Uncharted, they have they don't own Crash anymore, but they made Crash. Guerrilla, I love the Killzone franchise. They got Horizon Zero Dawn. And, of course, we talked about Insomniac. With Microsoft, I'm trying to think. Like, they have Rare, but they're not the Rare that we knew and love on the PS.
Yeah, it's not as rare it used to be. Yeah.
No, but I'm super down if they're going to do, like, another Banjo-Kazooie. Like, a good one.
Well, they are.
They better. I mean, that'd be fucking sweet. But what other... I'm trying to struggle to think. I know they bought Ninja Theory, didn't they?
Ninja Theory would probably is the one that comes to mind. That would be their other AAA studio.
They own Ninja Theory, though, right?
They do now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one that they acquired, I think, right around E3. Is that when they announced it? I can't remember.
Yeah, because I think Ninja Theory, they've done several games I like. They're kind of controversial. There's some people who just don't like their style of games. I actually like a lot of their stuff. But that's a good one. But we're gonna have to actually see some games. I think, like I said, Xbox, they're gonna bring it next gen. I think they've kind of just more or less given up on this one. They're still pumping out some content, but they're really focusing on next gen.
I agree 100%, and we've talked about it at length here that Microsoft is coming. Then they're gonna come hard, and if Sony gets loose, or if they decide, hey, we got this in the bag, they're gonna get steamrolled.
It's winter is coming, man. This is some Lannisters and Starks shit right here.
100%, couldn't agree more. So I looked up studios that Microsoft owns, and I'm actually pulling it up right now. I thought it'd go faster than this, but apparently it's not going to load for me. So just kind of waiting on that. In the meantime, Jer Bear, I'm thinking we could talk about the next news topic while I pull that up, and we'll circle back around to it because it has to do with Microsoft anyway. Ori and the Blind Forest, which was previously a Microsoft exclusive, is actually coming to the Switch.
I will be getting it now.
I mean, people say it's one of the best games ever made. I don't know. I haven't played it yet.
I heard it was fantastic, and it looked really good. I like the art style and all that. I don't know much about the game. It looked kind of like a Metroidvania kind of game, which I can get down with. But much like Cuphead, this was one I really wanted to play, and now it's coming to the Switch. I can. But, man, Microsoft's just giving away all their exclusives, which is not smart. But I've heard they're putting an end to that, because this might be the last thing they give away exclusive-wise.
Yep, I think that they have pretty much said that they're going to focus internally now, and the games coming out are going to be for them. So
yeah, which is smart. I mean, it's really good that they're being buddy-buddy with Nintendo, but you can't... you don't have many exclusives to start with, and they're giving away their best ones, which really sucks for them. I mean, Cuphead's a fantastic game, and don't get me wrong, I'm glad I can finally play it, especially on my Switch. But if I owned Microsoft, I would have never let that happen. Same thing with Ori. I'm like, we gotta hold on to what we got.
Yeah, and my thing is, even if they stop making or putting games on other consoles, we could still see their characters and IPs, and we talked about it before we got on air. Like, we could still see Master Chief in Smash, or whatever it might be. So that can still happen. I just think that the new games aren't going to go to another system.
Yeah, I think they're going to focus they're going to focus 100% on just their Xbox stuff now, even if it is like indie games and shit.
Absolutely. Now, not playing Ori, I think this is going to be a pickup for me because I've heard so many things about it, so many good things about this game.
Yeah,
so
same.
And again, I say this a lot, and I think it's something that we repeat every time. So it might sound like a broken record, but it almost feels like it's built. An indie title like that is built for the Switch.
The indies just in general seem to work really good on the Switch because they're nice small games. You know, like that Indivisible game I was talking about last week. I'm debating whether I want on PS4 or Switch. You know, because I'm like, it looks like a great game for the Switch, but I like having games for the PS4 because of the trophies. Like even when I bought Bloodstained, the main reason I got on the PS4 is because the Switch version is just so terrible. Otherwise, I probably would have gotten it for that because it seemed more of a Switch type of game.
Gotcha. Yeah, I agree. It does look like a title that'd be great on the Switch. So I think that we'll be having a little Ori chat in the next few weeks, so I'm excited about that. Moving on, one of your favorite series, Jeremy, Yakuza, is getting a Yakuza Remaster Collection featuring 3, 4, and 5. And as you said, and I didn't know this before we started the recording, 5 has never been released in America. So that sounds like a hell of a deal.
These were all... I only ever owned Yakuza 1 and 2, which were on the PS2. I never had any of the PS3 ones, I don't think. I might have had 3. I can't remember. But I know I never played 4, and 5 was never here. These are not getting the Kiwami full remake treatment, though. These are just going to be HD upscales of the PS3 games. But they are all going to be on, like... Well, they're doing a digital version, and they're doing a limited run physical. And the limited run physical is going to have, like, all on one disc, which is really cool. But they're not going to take up too much space. And I'm super excited for these. I've tried to pre-order the physical. Amazon only has it right now as just like email me whenever it comes in. So I did that, but I plan to get these games. I'm probably going to get them digital because it's probably the only way I can get them for a long time. But if I can ever pick up a physical version and not a jacked up fucking scalper price, I'll definitely get one. That'll look neat on the shelf just to have the whole series right there. But I'm
I
excited
can see like fighting rain. What's the post office saying? Rain, sleet, snow, shine.
Yeah,
that's going to be you for this collection. I guarantee it. I'll do anything.
It's just something like I just like getting all of like entire series of games on my PS4. Like I have every Resident Evil on my PS4 now except for 3 just because it hasn't been made yet for it. I have every single one. I get all the Final Fantasies I can. Once I get these, to be all the Yakuzas. I just like the idea of just having them all on one system. It's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. And this might be something that I might pick up. Hey, who knows?
I said they're really good. And I'm pretty sure I didn't see a price, but I'm going to guess they don't ever really charge full price. So it's probably going to be like $50 for 3 games, which is damn good.
Perfect. And before we move on to the next topic, got the Microsoft Studios pulled up. So I'm going to just go over the big ones I think that people know. So you got Coalition, which is Gears of War, Mojang, which is Minecraft, Ninja Theory, Playground Games, and Rare, 343, Double Fine, and probably Obsidian are probably their biggest ones.
Okay, Obsidian's a fairly big one. 343, I mean, they've more or less always been a Microsoft exclusive, I think. Mojang, I'm like, they have Minecraft, and that's great, but that's all they've got. Plus, you can play Minecraft on other systems, so it's really hard to say they're exclusive.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, Microsoft owns them, but yeah, Minecraft is on
everything.
So yeah, I mean, I just think based on that list and based on what Sony has the better, amalgam of studios.
Oh yeah, I agree. But it's just our personal biases here, so.
Yes. We have a lot of Xbox fans out there, and trust me, let us know why Microsoft is better than Sony. We love hearing you guys' opinions, so don't hesitate to reach out and let us know. We can be biased towards the old PlayStation sometimes. What do we got next on the list? Looks like we're going to talk about one of my favorite games, Mortal Kombat. They announced the Kombat Pack. And we have a lot of cool characters coming. So we got Nightwolf, Shang Tsung, Sindel, Spawn, Terminator, and it is Arnold, the T-800. And last but not least, the crown prince of crime himself, the Joker.
So Nightwolf, I guess he has his fans. I've just never been a huge fan of him. Shang Tsung, I think it's really cool they're going with the movie version. From the old 96 movie. I thought that was sweet. Spawn looks badass as shit. Terminator, it's super cool they got Arnold. Like, I really hope they got his voice act. Like, they actually got him to do the voice. I'm assuming since they got his likeness, they probably got his voice, which is really cool. And I pray that one of the skins is the Terminator 2 version of him. Joker, I don't like him. I love the Joker, but like we've already got him in Injustice, and personally, this version of the Joker, he looks way too young, way too soft. Just it looks lame to me. So I know that I'm gonna get that from you, Mr. DC fanboy.
No. Okay, so here's my take. I'm kind of close to you. So Spawn is probably my favorite looking character. Definitely looks badass. I actually enjoy Nightwolf. He's been one of my favorite characters. Not that I played with him a lot. I just enjoyed kind of his look and how he summons like astral spirit weapons. That's kind of cool to me.
I remember you being hyped for him pretty much when he was announced.
Yeah. So excited about that. Love the T-800 Arnold. I would say it's a safe bet to think that we've got his voice too. So good one there. Sindel, I'm pretty cool. I mean, I like, but not huge on Shang Tsung. We knew was probably coming. And then with the Joker, I kind of agree with you. Like, I mean, he is in Injustice, so it feels like they may have just moved over some assets. But yeah, the look is the look's a little off for me.
I never seen Gotham, but he looks like what he would. I feel like he would look like in Gotham.
No, you know what? And that's the thing. Like, it's very not that. Like, in Gotham, he looks very like once he fully turns into Joker, he's got a burnt face and looks gnarly. And this is a weird look for him. But
I say it felt very CW to me, is the way I should put it.
I get you. Yeah, like juvenile almost.
Yeah.
It will be fun to see him go like fatality and like super gory. That'll be cool.
Yeah, that is true, because we haven't really got a chance to see him do something super gory. Like, I will say this, one of his fatalities should be the hand buzzer from the Batman 89 movie, where he like, I want to do like a little like woohoo, like dance around, and it's just like a fucking skeleton left over. That'd be cool.
That'd be really cool. Yeah, because even in Injustice, like their finishers are just really cool looking. They're not gory by any means. So overall, this Kombat Pack I really like. I'm definitely going to pick it up. The characters don't come out at once. They're coming out staggered. So I think a few of them are out now. And the last one comes out March of next year, which I think is Joker.
Shang Tsung and Nightwolf are out now. I think Terminator is next. I think he comes out in October. Then it's Sindel in December. Then it's Joker in January, and Spawn in like March. So it's gonna be a while until you get to see Spawn.
Save the best for last, baby.
Yeah. That's why I'm waiting for the complete edition, because by the time he comes out a couple months later, it'll be the whole shebang for like $40, and that's what I'm in.
Yeah, and the reason I'm pulling the trigger on this so fast is because I actually got the game at a really cheap price. So if I pay the $39.99 or whatever for the Kombat Pack, which I think is typically about that price, then I'll actually be getting the game and the Kombat Pack for the cost of just the game.
See, I did the same thing with Injustice 2, because I got it for like $20 on sale, and then I bought the complete edition, or the DLC pack for like $40. So I got the whole game for $60.
Nice. That's what I'm planning on doing with Mortal Kombat. So I'll get time in with everybody and make sure I give my roundup of all the cool characters. So moving on, something we haven't talked about in a while on the show is PUBG, and this is actually a good PUBG conversation. They're actually adding crossplay to PS4 and Xbox One. So
it's only 3 years too late.
It is late. Now don't get me wrong. It's but you know how hard it is to get crossplay with Sony. But I haven't played PUBG since early launch on console back when it first launched on Microsoft. It was a mess. Might be interested to go check it out again just to see.
I haven't played PUBG.
I know you have.
That's it.
I can't say what it's like now because I don't know, but it has to be better than it was.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
And they're taking steps in the right direction. I mean, crossplay is always good. You can't ever argue against it. So
I just don't ever hear anyone even mention it anymore. I keep forgetting it exists until something like this happens. I'm like, oh yeah, that is a thing.
It's definitely not what it was by any means. It does have a following still, and it's still there on Twitch and people are playing it, but it's not as huge, and it's kind of taking a back seat to stuff like Apex and Fortnite, things like that. But might be worth checking out. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe I get an itch for. I know you will never get an itch for PUBG, but maybe I will one day.
There's a cream for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in the recording, Jeremy and I actually lost our audio. Some major technical difficulties happened. So, I wanted to go over our last news topic that we didn't get to, and that is the Xbox Gamepass games for August 2019. So we've got Ashes Cricket that came out August 1st, Pandemic and Downwell. August 8th, we had Jackbox Party Pack 2 and Space Hulk Tactics. August 14th, we had Slay the Spire. August 19th, coming in probably the hottest day of the month, Age of Empires, the Definitive Edition, Devil May Cry 5, and Stellaris. August 22nd, we had Ape Out and Kingdom Come Deliverance. August 27th was Bard's Tale 4, the Director's Cut. And finally, on August 30th, the Blair Witch video game will be out. Coming soon, obviously, you've got Gears 5, Halo Infinite, Battletoads, and Ori and the Will of the Wisp. Thank you, Internet, for all that. Thank you for listening. We really appreciate your support, and we'll catch you next time.
As always, play on and stay
Hella
Average!